What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Battle Spirit Saga matchup video. Today is Purple Curse versus Red Terrasaur. I'm playing the Purple Curse. My buddy Jarious is piloting my Terrasaur deck. It's the same one that won Palm Springs. It was in, I believe, our last video. I think was a Terrasaur matchup. If not, it's been on the channel already. So if you want to check out the deck list, down below in the description. Keep things shorter in this video. We'll skip the deck list because we've already seen them in previous videos. And again, they're down in the description below. So check those out if you want to see what's in the decks. And just a little note about the editing for this one. Me and Jarious were taking quite a while to kind of play through this matchup. It ended up being a long series for us. I had a lot to kind of think about because it was the first time I was playing Terrasaur, so my turns were a little long. First time he had played Terrasaur, so his turns were a little long. So match footage is in 150% speed, and then, you know, per my typical editing strategy, the in-between of, you know, cards actually being played in between turns is sped up to, you know, about 300%. So you guys will see. But let's jump into game one and get into the action. All right, getting right into things. I believe I won the roll. Ended up mulliganing. You can see I have 4 cards in hand. And Jarious goes first. Just kicks it off with the Nexus. Which I don't think is an awful idea against my deck. I typically don't go super aggro in this deck. I am thinking about making some list changes, and if I do, then I'll be sure to let everyone know, and they'll probably be in a future video. Not next week, but maybe the week after. We'll get the updated purple list back on the videos and playing some matches. I started off with an Okapandle and just passed. Kind of play a little defensive here. Just gonna kick it off with the double Rain Needle play. Rain Needles, I will say, they feel a little like they're good for like this turn that Jarious plays, right? The turn 2, get a couple Rain Needles going because get some nice early aggro, but they're a little detrimental when you draw them late in the game. A lot of thinking on my part here. I could have, you know, maybe Deadly Bounced and then Beldegord, clear his board, get one thing. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and Burning Force. Yeah, so we just drop the Burning Force for 5, get rid of both of them. And I think what are we going to do here? Our hand isn't looking too hot. Looks like we have Baculus, Curse Dragon combo. Beldegord gets pretty good value against aggro due to most things in the deck being less than 4. About the only thing that's really going to be more than that is Gigano, I think, in this matchup. So holding on to Beldegord, not an awful idea. We could have dropped him for just for a blocker, which maybe would have been the better play. Actually, we couldn't have because we only had 3 cores left. Jarious is gonna drop that Dino Man. It is level 3. Also looks like maybe he spent 3 cores on that and didn't need to, so he could have kept 1 extra core. For the sake of this turn, not that big a deal. A lot of cores to work with here. We're just going to drop the Beldegord though. Core it up. Again, not a lot of value out of it, but that's okay. It's a blocker. I think that's pretty valuable right now. Another Dino Man coming out. Really strong card in the aggro. And then Bearded Eagle also Very good card. Good BP. You can make it free if you get enough things on board. Just checking BP here, 6K. Again, the Dino Man, level 2. We're just going to go ahead and take that, though. Because if he did attack with Bearded Eagle, we could have blocked, got rid of it. Pretty decent value here for Cursed Dragon. We're going to drop. Since Jarious did leave both spirits at 1 core. We get 2 from the Void for it. A nice little Camelot Knight here. I do misplay this turn. I don't know if it would have changed up any sort of result in the game. But we do misplay here, and you'll see in just a moment. Because I'm thinking about if I want to attack or not. Being a 2 health is a little risky. But we are going to attack with Beldegor. And I definitely should have stopped here. But I do swing one more time with Camelot Knight. When we get into Jarious' turn, you'll kind of see what why I'm thinking this is a misplay. And Volcanic Canyon, pretty good value. It's a decent card. I think I like Scorched Battlefield as a Nexus better in the Terrasaur deck, personally. As it does give you like a net gain on cards in hand if you core it up. But you do have to hit face, which aggro tends to do quite a bit. Yeah, so Giganorex coming down, and this is why I think that it was a misplay to attack with Camelot Knight. I think that I should have not attacked. That way I had a dummy unit blocker to take the confront, and Camelot Knight. Maybe I should have not attacked at all, and then I could have, or I should have attacked with Camelot Knight, and then sacrificed Beldegor on the block. Potentially get it in the trash in case we get like a 4 or 5 drop. Having, keeping Camelot Knight is nice too because it's a curse unit. In case he didn't attack with Giganorex for whatever reason. I haven't been in a situation in a game where I'm not attacking with Giganorex, but maybe there is a situation you're not. Maybe you're kind of on the back foot, so you drop him, be a big blocker. I know some Terrasaur lists are running suppression, so definitely a good suppression unit if you only have Terrasaurs and Emperor Beasts on the board. Looks like we have like double Baculus in hand, which is definitely not ideal. I will say in this, any matchup really against aggro, I was going to say in this matchup, but really any matchup against aggro, I played white aggro over the weekend, same thing. I think that if you can have an ice shield down, you feel great and you can really just go at your opponent. But as you can see here, I don't have an ice shield, and Jarious does have a burst card set, which I'm going to assume is ice shield. And that, it really puts you on the back foot against these aggro decks. You really gotta just kind of hold the line, play defensive. Which is a little unfortunate. Jarious is going to attack with that Gigano first, with Confront. I think that's a second Camelot Knight. Doesn't have a soul core. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and make the easy sacrifice there. And we got Dino Man coming through. Jarious cored him up, so quite big. Just comparing BP, but unfortunately not really going to get any good value trades out of it. As everything is massive. Bearded Eagle, again, great vanilla unit that just has a ton of BP even before the Gigano buff. But back to us, back to our turn. We have a lot of cores to work with. We do have Core Drain. I think Core Drain is a fantastic card in the aggro matchup because 9 times out of 10 they're swinging, they're exhausting spirits, and they're typically not putting more than 3. This is a little bit of a desperation Baculus. Not really any great value out of it, but we just had to drop something. So at this point, unfortunately, Jarious just needs one more spirit. Discards the Burning Force from the Volcanic Canyon effect. And he does get that spirit. That's just kind of going to wrap up game 1, as he can just go wide enough. Game 2. I decided to go second again, as I was the loser, so I got to choose. Scorched Battlefield. Again, I mentioned it earlier. I think this is a better Nexus, personally. Volcanic Canyon is good because it lets you dig for what you want. And I know that people say, you know, getting 2 Rexes on board is really, really good. So Volcanic Canyon does give you that value. But I think Scorched Battlefield is, you know, you get the 1000 BP for no core commitment. If you put 2 on it, then as long as you hit face, you draw a card. You don't have to discard anything. You know, both Nexus have their gives and their takes. You're guaranteed to at least search for something with Volcanic Canyon, which is nice. Here's with the opening hand Volcanic Break. 2 games in a row. Unfortunate. Hopefully we can weather the storm early here this game. We're going to drop that Netherworld Depths though. Card that in purple, I mean in a lot of decks, but especially in purple, a lot of value out of that. Like I mentioned earlier, I went to a local over the weekend, got second, and Netherworld, one of the games had me, I think I played 2 Netherworlds and I ended up having like into the game 15 cards in hand or something. It was pretty nutty. Bearded Eagle coming down. We're at 3 health. We don't want to drop too low here. We are going to go ahead and drop to 2, which is absolute maximum you can take an Ice Shield, that's for sure. A lot of cores to play with though. Jarious did leave that Dragaron Trooper at 1 core, so we can get some value here. As you can see, we got a Core Drain in hand. Netherworld Depths, and I think it's a Dragonaga Assassin as our last card. So we got a Spear we can throw down next turn. We're going to go ahead and Core Drain the Eagle. And then we'll pass. We're not going to make any mistakes like we did in game 1 with the potential Gigano coming down. A lot of thinking going on here. We'll say for the early game, we kind of weathered the storm pretty well so far. We did drop to 2, but we still have that ice shield. Done a little, you know, one damage to Jarious, got him down to 4. We have board control, and he has 1 card in hand. We're just gonna go ahead and sacrifice that Camelot Knight, though. Otherwise, would have lost our dragon. Definitely not worth it. Top deck another ice shield, which is, you know, not what we're looking for. That's all right. We'll go ahead and drop the Dragonaga Assassin. Does have the Soul Core and level 3, so we'll get some card draw off that. And at this point, this is a pretty good spot as a purple player. You got spirits on board. You got your ice shield down. You have cores on things, and you have Netherworld Depths against aggro, which is going to give you card draw. So you have enough cores on board to pay for ice shield to end the turn, which is a good feeling. So you can go a little more aggro here. For some reason, we trigger this as if it was level 2. I don't know why that happened. Didn't matter. It doesn't really affect anything. But as you can see, Cursed Dragon, only 3 cores, should be 4 to get to level 2. Trigger that effect. So, little misplay on our part. Again, it didn't really change anything, so that's okay. So this is a pretty good spot for Jarious, though, with the Scorched Battlefields. I did kind of leave myself open here. He doesn't, he has cores on his Scorched Battlefield, so he does get card draw if I let it go face, which, you know, again, no blocker. But we're going to go ahead and trigger that Ice Shield. Go ahead and pay for it. And then again, we had that second one in hand, so we'll just lay that down. Leaves us in a really good spot right now. Lay down a couple Camelot Knights and an Aglavale. Really just going wide here. Now I'm going to go ahead and decide to attack with Dragonaga Assassin. Make sure I get that card draw first. Here's, will just go ahead and take, flip his own Ice Shield. Now we got plenty of blockers here. Can prevent him from card draw off Scorched Battlefield, which is nice. For the most part, at least. I could always decide to just let him attack into face, instantly flip to end turn, but in my mind, the better play, which might be how this plays out, is to let him exhaust as much as possible. Just get a nice value Burning Force there, though. Now Jarious has the cores on the Dilophosaurs right now. Does end up removing 2 off of one of his Dilophosa, but I don't know if it was a misplay, but I do think, well, the card draw would be nice. You're probably only going to get 1 card draw at most, or 1 instance of going face. And I think that making this big enough to trade with Curse Dragon would have been really good value for him. So I'll go ahead and sack the Camelot Knight. Again, doesn't have a Soul Core. Camelot Knights are really good early game, but once you get multiple of them and you're kind of late game, and as you can see, the Dragonog Assassin's really giving us value with the Soul Core. Camelot Knights are an easy sacrifice blocker. Another 6k Dilophosa here. We'll go ahead and block that with Curse Dragon. And then we'll just go ahead and take that one and flip Ice Shield. Pay it, but it doesn't matter. It was into the turn anyways. Always find myself doing that. Go ahead and drop Baculus, drop all of this stuff to 1. We're gonna Curse Dragon. I think I was like 1 core short from being able to really do what I wanted to, which was keep everything alive, but that's alright. Still not bad value to kind of get rid of some of your stuff. Especially as you can see, Jarious has 2 cards laying there. That's his hand. 2 cards left. We're not feeling too bad. Tight on life. He does have the Ice Shield. So it's 4 triggers though. 4 cores from the Void dropped onto that Curse Dragon. You can see my 3rd card there is Core Theft. Core Theft is a card that is really, really nice because you can flash and core removal at any point in time. But if you don't have a large hand, it is kind of a tough card. I definitely think that card gets a lot more value in like a core control purple deck, whereas Curse, this like Curse Midrange is a little less value out of it. Definitely have had, you know, gotten value and had great plays with it. If you watch my purple Curse deck spotlight, I kind of talked about a play I made where I spent it just to remove cores off my Maduke. Didn't even have any other cards in hand, so couldn't discard or remove cores or anything, but it put her in Blood Curse range and it was quite nice. You can definitely find creative ways to make value out of cards in this game. That's why I'm loving BSS. Jarious here realized that Rain Needle, actually a Star Dragon, not a Terrasaur Emperor Beast. I think I mentioned it before. So he ends up scooping. We go game 3 here. Tied 1-1. He has me go first. I'm gonna just turn 1 Camelot Knight. Give a curse and core it up. Great opener for Red Terrasaur here. This is about as good of an opener as you're gonna get going second. All 3 are Emperor Beast. It's quite nice. Go ahead and take that though, and then we'll get a nice value trade here. Get a nice little card draw going from Dark Lancer. Here I'm contemplating if I want to core drain the Eagle. And I think kind of my strategy playing against, in this matchup at least, is really just try to get Spirit Control on board. Jarious has 2 cards in hand. We now have a 1 Spirit advantage, so, you know, worst case here, he could lay 3 down, which is why we definitely don't attack with our spirits. A little 4K here though. We're gonna skip the block on that. And we'll go ahead and block here, get a nice value. A little trade on that one. It's not really a trade, but we get rid of the spirit. Which is nice. And then we gotta save ourselves the health there in case we can get to an ice shield. Things looking a little dire. We now have lost board control. And we're at 2 health. Really just got to play very defensive here. I think we end up just going as many spirits as we can. Maybe play that Netherworld. Get us some card draw to draw into some answers. Luckily, we know that Jarious has 1 card in hand. He's going to top deck 1. So the most he could get spear-wise would be 4. At this point, I can't really play the other 2 spirits in hand, so we will just go ahead and drop the Netherworld. Hopefully generate ourselves some cores, or some cards, excuse me. No burst cards, though. Definitely can't go on the attack there. Another Dino Man coming in. Gonna take our card draw of Netherworld here. Not really any good trades for us. We do have the Aglavale there. If it dies, we do get a card draw. FK Dino Man, no flash cards really to play here. kind of lose our board. And Jarious will go ahead and pass, as the last Dino Man would have lost the trade for him, so no real point in attacking. Time to see if we can turn this around. This is a card that's currently in my deck, King Snake. Fortunately, his board state really kind of plays against me with this. You get to bring the Aglovale back. Yeah, I could level King Snake here, which I do end up putting cores on it, but if I was to attack and get rid of the Dilophosa, then his Dinomans would have been level 3 for free. And so I would have just lost that trade. So really no point in doing that. Could have made him block and maybe get a card draw out of it, but don't think it was really worth it. I think I ended up doing the right thing here and playing some more bodies, playing defensive. No need to attack. Got plenty of good stuff right now in hand. It looks like I have an Okapandle in hand, so I could spin the 2 that are on King Snake and spin the 1 on Aglovale to play that card. I don't remember if I do, but it would have given me 1 extra blocker. Probably would have been the right move to do, as Red Terrasaur doesn't really have any sort of BP reduction, removal type stuff. And if, you know, he could have gone wide enough here to actually kill me. But we also do have the Ice Shield set, so maybe having the cores on board was the better play. Tough to say. I mean, he ends up burning force anyways, so not a huge deal. We're going to end up being able to get rid of this board, though. As you can see, we have a deadly balance. And he attacks one more time. We'll take it, but we'll flip that. Again, I pay for it. Don't need to. It's the end of the turn. This is one of those games where I was talking about earlier, though. A lot of value out of Netherworld. Gives us a lot of card draw. A lot of advantage. Now we can just kind of... We've kind of weathered the storm. At 2 health. We can really just start laying cards down to play a little more defensive. Just level some things up. Maybe get some decent trades. Dragaron Trooper. Not what he's really looking for here. He will go ahead and attack, which just feeds me another card. And it gives me an Ice Shield. Fortunately for him, you know, wasn't necessarily a bad play, as I would have gotten that card draw anyways. It was my top card, so I would have got it on the turn. We'll Baculus into Core Drain. Nice value there to get rid of that. Another roll in hand. Second one, while not awful, not really something we need at the moment, but we're going to go ahead and drop it. A little safer play than maybe the Dark Lancer. Okay, I wouldn't say safer, but it is a more long-term play for us, as it really sets us up to get a lot of good card draw if this game goes much longer. Which, with an Ice Shield on his side, Does mean it could. As he drops the Star Blast draw, gets a couple cards here. Maybe keep himself in the game with those. One of them being a Rain Needle. And we'll just put all his cores on it, pass. Go and pay for that Dark Lancer and get a nice card draw. Looks like we top deck Aggro. Another solid curse unit. Cheap. We can go wide here. Lots of cores we've been working with. So looking pretty good. Looks like we have a Curse Dragon in hand as well. I know one of the other cards, one of the two we have is a Maduke. Yeah, we'll just core everything up. Plenty of cores on the board for us with an Ice Shield set. Again, in this matchup, in an aggro matchup, means that you can play pretty aggro yourself. So we can really just swing away here. I'm just going to take all of these swings. Then we attack. He flips. Has the cores to pay for it. Go to his turn. Another Ice Shield. I think he accidentally puts a face up. We were laughing though. Not really any other option to put down there. I guess it could have been a Star Blast draw, but it's not going to get you a ton of value at this point when you're at 2 health. So unless you're just trying to bluff. Go ahead and draw twice here. Do get that Deadly Balance. I think I have the Aggro there at the top. Apologies for the glare, guys. We have decided to not record in this spot anymore due to card glare. But I think I have the Aggro there, which is a great Deadly Balance target if you're a purple player. As you can select it, it does get destroyed, and you get a card draw. And this is perfect card draw for purple here, because I can Deadly Balance again, and it means that I didn't have to pop that Ice Shield. Fantastic spot for us to be in. Plus, we have 2 spirits on the board. He has no cards in hand. This is exactly how you want it to play out towards the end here. Plenty of options to spin cores on. We're just going to drop the Maduke. Go ahead and put her at level 3, so that Camelot Knight with the core does put it to the void. Jarious pops Ice Shield, try and last for one more turn. Fortunately, it's just a Dragron Trooper. Well, guys, as always, hope you enjoyed that matchup. You know, as Purple Curse, you know, mid-range really kind of weathers the storm of aggro. There's definitely some changes I plan to make to my deck. Put a little more aggro into it. Based on the list that won Germany, my list was pretty close, and I do think that at least one card in my list is the King Snake. I think is not giving me that much value, so I do plan to cut that. Definitely want to throw the Boa Trickers back in. I think I talked about previously in my list, you know, the early list I had on the channel. Purple Curse ran it, and I think it's a very solid curse unit, as it gains curse at level 1, and you can level it with, I think, like 5 cores. They put it out of Burning Force range, which is a little pricey, but overall, it's just a solid unit to have in the deck, and I think it's going to be better than King Snake. I know the Germany list ran no Baculus, no Curse Dragon. I personally really like them, especially in aggro. As you can see, there's a few times through those games where the aggro units were at 1 core, and dropping Curse Dragon got a lot of value. So I do like Curse Dragon, and I really like the Baculus combo with it. Obviously, great value there, and Baculus into Core Drain was something we did in these games. So a lot of good stuff, good combo right there. So I think I keep Curse Dragon Baculus, but not to go too into depth here on Purple Curse. But that's just kind of my mindset. Again, I'll be making some changes, but hope you guys enjoyed seeing some of these top tier decks playing again. Well, my deck may not be super top tier just yet. A version of it is winning, so that's I'm close enough that I feel good about my list. I will be back next week again, of course, on Wednesday, as we have done for a few weeks now. I'll have another matchup video, so hope to see you guys back then. Have a great rest of your week, and be on the lookout for more videos on the channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Do the old YouTube shill. Appreciate you guys subbing. You guys have supported the channel like crazy, so thank you very much, and see you back for the next one.